Hi folks, welcome to Small World Layouts. My name's Jules. This is build video number 3 in a series about my yet as still unnamed layout in a wooden box. In this video I'm going to show you how I build a bridge for this layout to go within the circled area here on the picture. I'm going to use DAS clay for this build. I'm building a stone structure, so what better material really? This is really cheap and I get mine from the works here in the UK for around £4 a block. Don't have nightmares. After warming it up and rolling it out with some dowel in the shed, I try to get it to a consistent thinness of around 5mm. It's easier to work with at this thickness rather than the scale thickness of around 2mm. I find it's a bit floppy. I made myself a template on the computer. After measuring the layout requirements, I was obviously feeling flash with the brick texture. I only used Publisher, to be honest. When the clay was an even thickness, I laid the template on top and cut around it with a sharp knife. Now, cutting clay with a sharp knife is another one of those infamous cutting experiences, in my opinion. If you've watched my foam board build video and the cutting of that, you'll know what I'm on about. Very satisfying. You do have to wipe off the excess clay, or it doesn't cut quite as clean as it needs. So, finger it was. The reasoning behind using the plastic tray and not the cutting board beneath was that I believed it would give the clay a smoother surface. I believe in a lot of things, I reckon. And with a bit of speeded up care and some careful cutting, there we have it. Finished and cut out. Now, it seemed a good idea using the metal rule to lift and support the bridge side from the plastic tray that it got a bit attached to, but this did come back to kind of bite me later. If anybody has any good ideas of how I could have avoided this sticky attachment, do let me know in the comments. It was quite a job to try and lift it off and keep it all intact without it bending out of shape too much. But with a bit of care and a bit of time, it did eventually lift off. Eventually. Honest. I put it aside to dry, nice and flat. And then I made another one in exactly the same way, but a lot quicker. Around 500% quicker, as a matter of fact. Oh, gratuitous cutting video coming up. Please let me know if I'm in my own weird club of one here, folks. Reassure or segregate in the comments. Thank you. I laid the two sides out and tried to get some semblance of squareness back to the clay with a straight edge. Did you spot it? Did you spot the interesting texture? I wanted to add interest to the bridge side in the way of a strip of extruding bricks. So I made a very thin strip of clay to be stuck on later. And here we have the two sides of the bridge and the design detail of the bricks to go on. You can definitely spot the texture left from using the ruler to lift the bridge side. Never mind.
The next day.
So, on a shiny, sunny shed Sunday, gotta love some alliteration, I set to detailing the bridge. I used a sharp knife to mark out the lines for the arches first. Now, I am a bit of a rule number one kind of bloke when building my layouts. If it looks right, then I'm happy, as after all, it's my layout. So I don't get too beat up measuring all the time. Sometimes, but not all the time. Now you remember all those marks and detailing on the sides? Well, a bit of sandpaper, 120 grit, soon sorted that out quite well. I know I probably should have had a mask on, but fan were on behind me and I weren't exactly choking on it, so I figured I'd be fine. The paintbrush, dry paintbrush helps just get rid of all the bits and the dust. Much improved, but with some texture and imperfections left in. Don't want it too exact. With the steel rule making an appearance yet again, I set to carving out the bricks. Thicker at the bottom, going to smaller as they get higher. Nothing clever, just thought it would look, pretty good this way. And it did kind of work out. Again, not much with the measuring, I'm afraid. Yes. Sorry, folks. With the lines cut in and looking more than a bit wonky, even for my unexacting tastes, I started to cut the bricks in. I line the brick first, then go back and carefully cut an angled side to it. You did need some patience and music, lots of music, but the lower levels were soon done. The addition of the detailing strip turned out nice. I was pleased with the look of that. Now the arches and the support underneath were constructed with plastic brick sheet, curled around a big cylinder and then superglued into place with additional supports. It was a bit fiddly, but I like the texture of the plastic sheet, even though no one is probably ever going to be able to see it once on the layout, but that's not always the point for me. I then started the paint process. Now I have to explain I'm very impatient when painting, but this often plays in my favour. Paint rarely dries before I add more, and this enables a nice weathered mix of colours. I always think that white is your best effect when painting stonework, and I'm pleased with how it looks here. Really helps to pick out the dimensional aspects of the bricks, I reckon. And here's a shot of the completed bridge in place on the layout with the start of the terraforming of the foam bed underneath it. Now in the next video I'm going to be getting plastered. Yes. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give us a like, and keep on track with this layout build and some other railway content, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, folks.